go back and find DNA where you couldn't a decade earlier.
The new technology will be able to test samples from the crime scene that the old technology couldn't pick up. The samples found on the bodies of Melinda's niece and mother could only have come from the man who raped them. If Clarence's DNA doesn't match, it will be definitive proof that he wasn't the rapist or murderer.
This was a case where there could be DNA. Those were looked originally, but conclusively proved that Clarence was still guilty.
It's been 5 years since Melinda Elkin's husband, Clarence, was sentenced to life in prison for rape and murder. But now, Melinda and attorney Mark Godsey are awaiting the results of a new series of cutting-edge DNA tests performed on bodily fluids found at the crime scene.
I wanted the whole world to see he was not guilty.
The findings leave Melinda breathless.
The results came back, and I was going to call him for Mark. He said everything that was tested was viable, meaning that they did pick up male DNA, and that it did not match Clarence whatsoever.
We were seeing one man's DNA across several claims and both victims that did not match Clarence Elkins. I knew at that point with absolute certainty that we had an innocent man.
I truly thought that would bring him home.
But the Elkins ordeal is not over yet.
The legal step is you have to file a motion in court for a new trial. If the judge grants it, then hopefully the prosecutor drops the charges and he goes home.
I thought, this is it.
We're about to find ourselves
How
in the
can
middle
they
of a race war.
DNA
I've seen
from
you
a
shoot.
crime scene
I think I'll be
that
alright.
doesn't match the person who's
with this
been
fucking
convicted?
rifle, I'm Wild
For
Billy
8 months, Melinda patiently
How's
waits for the
padre
judge's
handling all
response.
this? You know, the
And
bloody
in May
path of mayhem and
2005,
revenge
it
you've been brought
arrives.
upon.
I'm at
Still not
work.
happy about it.
I get a call.
At least you're most likely the devil.
They have denied
You know, I had a look
a
at
new
his service
trial.
record. Oh,
Based
settle
on the
down. I was
fact
just curious.
The trial was
He was a
not
medic, but he saw
tried
action
on
in Clipboard
DNA
with the
evidence, but
614.
an eyewitness.
He was credited with taking out 2
I
crowd tanks on top of the
broke
16
down.
men
I
he shot.
think seriously, for
killing
the
for a
first
would-be priest.
time,
That's different. It was
I
during a
have
war.
lost
And this isn't?
all hope.
Look,
I mean, this was our
I'm
last
just
shot.
saying. We didn't win that war
I
by
was afraid
worrying
that
about hurting someone's feelings.
My father would
We
be
won
in
it by
prison
bombing the
forever.
crowds and nips back to the Stone
We
Age.
would never
Padre'd be wise to
get
remember
to do the
that.
things
Yeah,
that
maybe.
a father
got
and
you
son
later.
would do outside of the prison walls.
I had
And
to
I'm
explain
still
to
so I guess
Clarence
you were
what
able
had
to keep
happened.
Burke sober long
No
enough to get
words
him on
can
our side.
describe the silence that I got from the other end of the phone. He cried. And he said, I just don't understand.
This was a legal system with both prosecutor and judge who were resistant
works now that he's got point per
to
back.
acknowledging the mistake had been made.
These knuckleheads you're trying to recruit, don't get dragged into their little fights.
Melinda vows to
Sal's the one
locate the
we want.
only evidence that can't be
Still in the
dismissed.
process of setting
The
up here.
real killer.
Goddamn thieves already
This
had
was
half
a,
this town wired to hell.
Trying to find a needle in a haystack.
She has an unbelievable drive, and she wanted to solve this crime.
Melinda redoubles her efforts, researching similar offenses on the internet and in newspapers, looking for any clue that could lead her to a possible suspect. Then, one day, while reading an article, Melinda's pulse begins to race. It's about one of her mother's neighbors that Brooke went to for help and led at the crime.
And it went on to say that her common law husband was being charged with child rape. And that's the first time that I had seen this name, Earl Ann, and read the charges. And it was an instant light bulb intuition feeling that went through me that said, this could be the guy.
The federal government filed its first open houses.
Earl Mann
Private
had been
Louisiana
in
development was
prison for
charged with
years,
dancing Negro
so
buyers,
Melinda
sale and
always
finance
assumed her
of
mother's
homes.
neighbor lived
The
alone.
attorneys filing the suit.
She
So
never
under the
knew she
provisions
could
of the
get a DNA sample
1968
from
Civil
her.
Rights
But
Act.
there's a problem. He's in prison again. So Melinda comes up with a new plan.
I started writing fictitious letters to Earl Mann as a pen pal. I came across as a normal person who felt some type of connection with him and just wanted to help him and
pieces of his saliva will contain all the DNA Melinda used for testing. During the next few months, she writes over 20 letters to man, and it's hopeless.
There's no way I knew to get this guy's DNA.
But an unexpected event changes everything. Earl Man is transferred to the same prison where Clarence is serving time.
That was miraculous. Out of 40-some prisons in Ohio, Adams and Mansfield were criminals. I took the plunge over to Earl. He was Adams, all well, if you remember. So he calls me back. He says, "You're not going to believe this, but he's in the same college as me." It was just too good to be true because he could be the person and he's right there in the same place.
Now it's up to Clarence to get the DNA evidence. But Melinda knows what man is capable of, and she's worried.
I expressed to him that he had to keep it on the
I
low
can't
down
believe
and
what I'm reading, what I'm
I
hearing
was
on the
concerned
radio.
about his safety.
What you doing?
This was a pretty despicable, unpredictable man.
I sat right there and told
He had
you.
an
Maybe
extensive
I'm just
history of
realizing
violence that
there's a
seemed to
difference
be
between hearing
escalating
about
at
something
that
in the
time.
abstract and seeing it
He was
flash
just
across
a
the front
totally out
page
of
in the
control
newspaper.
You didn't
person.
think I'd go through with it.
So it was very important that Clarence be
I
careful.
knew. I knew as soon as you regained consciousness.
For the next few weeks,
I could see
Melinda
it.
waits to hear from
I look
Clarence,
at you, I
but he
see
doesn't
who you
call,
were.
and she becomes desperate
Little
for
boy
news
who
that he's all right.
Didn't have much.
Then,
Who also
one morning,
wasn't angry about
Melinda
it.
picks up the
The little
phone
boy
and
who
hears
shared,
Clarence's
who laughed,
voice on
who-
the other end.
who
The
just
first thing he says is,
enjoyed
"I
being.
got it."
I wonder what happened.
They were
there.
in the pod
You finally realized
with
how
other
things work.
inmates and Earl Man was smoking a
Is
cigarette
that so? How many times
using
was
the
the ocean
ashtray
is
by
vandalized by
himself
rednecks? How many
and
times
put a
we have to
cigarette
drive
out
around asking restaurants for
and
the
walk
leftovers
back to
because we
the
didn't have
cell
nothing else to eat?
while
Did we
Clarence
have to
was
deal with
retrieving the
racist
cigarette back
assholes?
with a
Sure.
tissue,
But whenever they did,
and
some
put
folks
back to
come
the
around
cell,
and help us.
put it in a
White,
clean
black,
baggie,
Baptist, Lutheran, you name it.
and stored it
You know how all
inside of
you
his
boys got
Bible.
new jackets on Christmas?
Clarence hides the cigarette pressed tightly between the pages of his Bible.
She spent
He
the
has to
entire
make sure
year
it's flat
making it.
enough to send through the
All
prison
you
mail
ever look
system
for
without
is
being
evil.
detected by the guards.
That's all you ever gonna see.
2 weeks
I
later,
gotta go.
Clarence folds the DNA sample inside a letter, seals
I
the
don't know
envelope,
if you
and mails it to
saw
his
the
attorney.
Sammys, but what the
For the
fire
first time in
didn't get,
years,
the neighborhood
Melinda
took.
allows herself
Not
to
out of
hope.
malice, mind you.
I hope they find something.
They
God,
wanted
please let them
something to help
find
them
something.
It's been 7 years since the assaults that left her mother Judy dead, and her niece Brooke a rape victim. Now Melinda Elkins is waiting for the results of the DNA tests that she hopes will clear her husband Clarence of the crimes once and for all.
It was like holding your breath. You know, waiting for that moment. It was excruciating.
Then, in October 2005, after months of waiting, Melinda receives a call at work.
It was Clarence's attorney, and she said, "Are you sitting down?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "It's a match."
The DNA from longtime violent felon Earl Mann is a direct match with the DNA samples taken from the victims at the crime scene.
When Clarence found out that it was a match, he said, "Thank God." Everything about his case was traumatic and devastating and unbelievable. Only this time it was good and unbelievable.
It's really my life.
I just started shaking and getting this and that. My father's coming home.
Twice previously, the presiding judge had denied a motion to reopen the case. But this time, Melinda has proof of who the real killer is. She expects the judge and prosecutors to drop the charges against Clarence, but shockingly, they don't.
That was like a punch in the gut.
The experience was prosecutors and this judge. I knew we needed to sort of change the conversation.
Today, Dudley has a few tricks up his sleeve. His next move is to present the case directly to Ohio State Attorney General John Petro.
Once the conviction is a tragic, you can't look at it any other way. The only thing we can strive to do is seek justice and avoid compounding the error of the conviction.
I was just blown away that a high-ranking official would do this for someone who's been convicted of murder and rape.
When John Petro got involved, he did something absolutely unprecedented, I think, in the country. The top law enforcement official in the state of Ohio opposing the local county prosecutor.
The authorities were not going to give up their conviction. They were not going to admit a mistake.
We made a conscious decision to actually release that DNA evidence to the press and the public on December 15th, 2005.
And sure enough, the tactic pays off.
Jim Petro tells me that the Summit County Prosecutor's Office are going to drop all charges against Clarence and have him released that day. I felt like £1,000,000 had been lifted off of me.
Melinda's next call is to Clarence, the call she's been waiting to make for 7 long years.
I said to him, "Are you ready to come home?" And he said, "I've been ready to come home." I said, "Well, get your stuff packed because you're coming home today." And his reaction was, "Thank God, thank everybody for everything I've done."
On December 15th, 2005, Clarence Elkins walks out of prison a free man again after serving more than 7 years of a life sentence.
That big smile on my face, that's that smile. To have my dad home again was awesome.
I don't think anything could surpass what that man did.
One man is charged with aggravated burglary, rape, attempted murder, and aggravated murder. It takes 4 years for prosecutors to build an airtight case against him. But in August of 2008, a man finally pleads guilty to the crime and is sentenced to 55 years to life in prison. After years of struggling harmony, Miranda, her family, and the world can finally reflect on what really happened on June 7th, 1998.
The night of the crime, Earl Mann snuck into the house. I think he went into the house to molest or to rape a 6-year-old girl. Judy caught him. She began to do all that she could to stop him.
My mother was beaten to the point she had a broken neck, her nose was broke, her eye sockets were broke, her cheeks were broke, she was strangled, she was raped, and she fought very hard. And my niece had heard a noise and came out and seen a man over top of my mom.
And she only got a very, very brief glimpse of the assailant.
And she ran back into the bedroom to hide. And he came in and he knocked her unconscious. My niece was strangled,
I'm running low on
raped,
all kinds of shit. Can you help me out
and
with the fight?
beaten,
I'll head your way now.
and left for dead.
Brooke regained consciousness sometime
You
early
want
in the
anything you
morning.
got used?
She then
Show me what
went
you got.
to the place she knew, 2 doors down, knocked on the door,
Happy with that?
answered the door. You have this bloody, beaten little girl on your doorstep. I think it's very possible that Earl Mann was inside and they were trying to decide what to do with this little girl. She drove Brooke back to Brooke's own mother's home. It could have been such that she was asking her questions, well, what do you think the person looked like? And the girl might have said something like, well, it looked like my Uncle Clarence Elkins.
Brooke never knew that search for help would bring her to the doorstep of her perpetrator. To a traumatized 6-year-old girl, the mix-up is understandable. Neither Melinda nor Clarence blame Brooke for what happened.
I've always told her that it was not her fault. She she was a child and not to blame herself.
Still bear the scars left by Earl Mann's crimes, but they are satisfied that justice was finally served.
Melinda Elkins, she was
To see a woman who went through all that she did finally be able to see the true killer of her identity, and to see her husband released from prison.
Don't leave nothing left. He's done for. He's over here. Get him. Get him down low.
On December 17, 1981, a woman in Oakwood Village, Ohio, noticed something strange at her neighbor's house.
When I took my kids to school, my son said, "Mom, Alma's door is open." I don't know how long the door and hit it open. The snow had blown in. I was almost 13. I saw her laying there in the
Run, you fucking idiot!
and
Jesus, man!
She was only 29 years old when she was murdered. Alma also was a single mom with 3 children.
Ah, that feels good.
Beat the devil out of
She's a
him.
tiny little. Sweet little Alma, who shouldn't have had an enemy in the world, somebody wanted her dead. You have to look into everybody in her life at the time to see if any of them had some kind of issues going on that would make them so mad at her they would beat her to death. Like that. 32 years. A long time. This would be
Bastard.
just because the case was originally investigated by the local law who did their best at the time. But this was before forensics as we know it today.
They hadn't worked a whole lot of murder cases because they don't have that many here.
Good for them.
Yeah. When I read the case, it scared me because it's 32 years old. That's a lifetime. And how many witnesses can still be alive and still be lost? Well, it takes like 2 good
Nice.
witnesses to make a case. You don't have to have
Nice
56.
shot.
We want 56, but we'll take 2.
If they're good, that's all you need. So now we have to try and figure out who had the anger and the means to murder poor Alma.
Take it then, Jesus. I mean, just die on. Let's get out of here.
We want to bring justice to these criminals.
Oh,
So you got to put a setup on the Paulding County
Jesus Christ.
because it's not currently in use, it's going to serve as our workspaces.
Following along, jail, YouTube.
Helping Yolanda and me out this week is Ellen Brown. You want to see us what's on the case? Ellen is put on this case because we're working with Deputy Rob Garcia, who really wants to learn, and Alan is very patient, and he likes teaching, so that'll be a good combination. You want to start and tell us about the case?
She's a single mom, had 3 kids from 2 marriages, divorced twice. On December 17th of 1981, about 9:28 in the morning, EMS got a call of a body. On the bed, face down, arms underneath her, and her head had been previously. hit with something. It was bloody and there was blood all over. No signs of fish. I don't think the door was actually open. Nothing was swinging. No signs of sexual assault.
Jesus.
This wasn't extremely
Fucking hell.
The medical examiner reported 7 strikes to the head, but also that her hands were black and blue. One hand was even broken, and she had puncture wounds to her forearm. The date of our murder is? Well, that's going to either be the 15th or 16th. But the 17th punch was found. Yes. Emma's body was discovered on Thursday the 17th, but she was last seen alive just 2 days prior by her neighbor. Because the medical examiner was unable to establish a specific time of death, all we know for sure is that she was killed somewhere in that 3-day time span. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this suspect first. Who's this from?
Delgado Sr.
David Delgado is Alma's first ex-husband and the father of her 2 oldest children, Debbie and Davy. She had recently given custody of those 2 children back to him. He's still involved in her life. Even though she had turned over their kids to him recently, it was still kind of a raw, fresh thing. She was regretting it. They were adjusting. There could have been some resentment going on with that. She had given custody back to David for a reason, so we need to look into that relationship to figure out why that could have been. There's no better motivator for getting people fired up than a divorce and custody and all that.
And then also, who's on the line?
And David had been divorced for a while. He had moved on. He was dating a lady named Maria. David and Maria eventually got married, but back then Maria had some serious issues with the fact that Alma was still around.
Fuck's sake! Jesus! Oh man, honestly. Fucking driver, terrible.
Maria goes to Stephen, who's Alma's secretary, and shows him these cards that Alma had seen in David. And the cards are
I mean, a lot of girls hate the next one, but she actually took her ammunition to Steve and showed her and kind of called her. That was more habitual than this one would do. Maria was the suspect in the original investigation. She failed her polygraph, but polygraphs are not admissible in the courtroom, which makes it even more important that we go and talk to her again.
Out of the way. Cleaning this place up right.
So the last suspect is Steve Knopfsinger. Steve Knopfsinger is Alma's most recent ex-husband. The two had met while working together at a meat processing plant called the Dinner Bell. They married and had one son named Ryan. When he was 2, they got divorced, and she gained
It's in
custody.
there.
He was making an effort
Oh yeah, I'm
to try to
remember
reconcile.
She was very jealous, apparently.
He's definitely committed to that relationship, but she's not.
He wasn't over her, she was over him.
Right.
Maria starts the plot. Alma and Steve start getting separated. Divorces file and gets final pretty fast. And 7 months later, she's dead.
like running people.
So Alma had 2 ex-husbands, and one of them is with a very jealous woman who goes crazy if he even talks to her. I can't tell you how many cases are prosecuted that were because of the divorce. Those issues between people never go away.
Had a couple close calls when the bombers showed up. But I remember every
Our
single
first
face.
stop is to visit the members of Alma's family. We want to go meet them and see how they've dealt with
Some folks
this
didn't trust
horrible
us.
tragedy.
Thought we were gonna march them into a
Hello?
shallow grave.
Howdy.
Hi.
Still remember the fear in their eyes.
I'm saying
How
that
you doing?
it has been very trying, not knowing who did it and that they're still out there. This case has been open for 32 years. It's time.
Tell us some stories about Alma when she was a little girl. What was she like?
Well, she's quiet. She's very quiet.
She's very,
We
very
had
cute.
more refugees than we knew what to do with.
In 71, she was seeing David. They met at the high school here in Defiance, and she got pregnant with her first child.
Cocksucker sounds like
They
Christmas
had gotten
morning
married
Market
and didn't tell
If
anybody.
you would have told me
Well, it
15
seemed like she
years
was really in
ago
love with
that
him.
all this would
That's
happen, I would
yes.
have called you crazy.
Was she a good mom?
Yes, she was.
I
She
believe I
adored
die an old
David
man with my
talked
family
to
all
her.
around me.
almost every weekend.
Okay.
It was just
Not
how
in
the
this
kids,
life, anyway.
and just
She never gave you any hints about what was
Never.
going on?
Not in this
Never.
life.
She kept it all to herself.
Keep winning in the marijuana,
And when
friend.
you first heard, what did that do to your
This
mom
is
and
our
dad?
life now.
Oh, devastated.
Go
You
to this
guys
warehouse.
showing up.
Besides, there's a
This
large
happens
stash
now.
of our wheat. Kill the assholes doubting it and then bring it back. Why should you think white people are so uptight about Weaver? Huh? I
I think
in my
about her
mind
every
some
day.
of a time when there
Every
was
day.
no order
And
and no
everybody
world of
else
chaos.
does too.
Time when
We're gonna try our very hardest and try and find everybody we can to put all the little pieces together. Okay?
Yes.
There's hope.
Santois is a woman of great strength, fiercely independent, but sometimes she uses her independence to keep others at a distance.
We're investigating the death of Alma Nofsky,
The
who was
airdrops
murdered
will
in
be
her bed while
happening
she was
soon.
sleeping in 1981.
Cannot expect bears of we've to
Welcome
just
to
float
the
down
mock
for
crime
very long.
scene. Because we no longer have access to Alma's home, we've set up a mock crime scene. My hope is that it can still teach us something about the case. The blue lines would be your walls. So this will at least give you a visual, since we can't go back 32 years. Alma was found face down in her bed, dressed in a nightgown and a robe. The pillows and mattress were soaked with blood. Other than a couple of pillows on the ground, nothing else seemed out of place, which tells us whoever killed Alma was able to sneak in silently and approach her undetected, all while Alma was sleeping. I know
I looked the part now.
see a lot of blood.
When you look at her, you got blood from the waist up, which would indicate someone's sitting on her
Yeah.
and hitting her.
If I'm on top of you and I'm trying to hold you down, say I am striking you, and you're trying to get up, you're moving hard, you're moving your face around that pillow, those sheets, everything. She literally has abrasions on her chin. So what's hitting her head? We're not seeing anything distinctive. Like a hammer will leave that round mark impression that you can see. No weapon was found in this case. Whatever was used as a weapon wasn't anything heavy enough to cause the skull to completely cave in. Now she does have skull fractures, so I would probably gear more towards a material like wood, because metal caves and wood doesn't tend to do that. She also has on her arm a small 1/8 inch in diameter puncture wounds. Both of her hands are so swollen and black and blue. And in fact, her left hand is broken.
Plus, remember when she was found, she actually had hairs recovered from her hand at the time.
Yes.
Her own hair, not the killer's hair.
What do we always do when someone's striking you? You bring your hands up because it hurts and you're trying to protect yourself. A little Emmy who counts 7 distinctive hits to her head. That's how much intention she's had. If her hands were taking some of these blows to the point that one broke, that tells me that she was hit far more than what we can tell just from her skull.
When you have those blows directly like the face and the head area.
And how angry the person was, how they had to know who it was, how they had to know where they were going.
And that's not just, I'm the killer, that's, I'm mad. We need to find out which of the 3 suspects, David, Maria, or Steve, could have made it out enough to commit this murder. We're going to start by looking at the person out in the corner.
Jesus Christ, what a... You like...
After marrying Steve and having Ryan, Alma gave custody of her 2 oldest children,
Records in
Debbie
that
and
building at the
David
end of the
Jr.,
block.
back to their father, David.
Lot of
It's
hood in there.
possible that this was
About
still
to
a
face
point of
down pussy
contention
right now.
between Alma and David
Got any
Jr.
muscle with him?
Did Alma
A couple of
have a
minutes.
good relationship with Dave?
I'll go around the front, you take the back.
With the kids?
Tries to run, grab his ass. Nobody kills that prick with me. Fuck. More comments to that.
Maria didn't like David. I had heard she was very close.
Back that car, you drive. I'll come close.
Maria has
Take this away.
Alma's
God.
So either David or Maria could have been upset enough with Alma.
Is that? How the fuck did Greco end up with my car?
He's a little fuck, that's how.
God damn it. Why don't you just let Marcano handle this jackass?
Marcano would just kill a little shit stain. I want to take my time. Besides, until I can get at Marcano directly, this is the next best goddamn thing.
Point taken.
Shit! Idiot! Oh my God, what the fucking hell?
Jesus fuck, sales guys don't let up, do it?
We brought out
papers over and gave her full custody to David.
That was just
Tell us about the cards that were being sent when you found.
What?
Maria for roughly an hour.
What's he doing?
Questions because
I'm all pissed on you.
so when you find these cards and you go to search,
We went downtown in Defiance, and I told him, I said, "Hey, why is someone sending David these cards?" You know, I should have never said that, but
so you weren't happy about
From
that.
Frank Draco? Where is he?
I mean, I could have just.
By showing Stephen Knopfsinger those cards, that caused a rift in Steve and Alan's marriage. She basically got this wrong reading, which caused. Well, to me, Maria had
the fuck out of here. Cops are closing in.
She was very straightforward. I got no vibes from Maria.
Hey, get the door.
So knowing you're her first ex-husband.
Yeah, we got to go from in the woods, so she was.
It's not
She
one
fears
thing.
that
The fucking cops are on our
Is
ass.
that, would that be your opinion of it?
True, but even primitive workers,
Across the board, motherfucker. That's what happened. Shut the fuck up.
when she was pregnant, she was fucking idiot! Terrible drivers.
According to David, Emily converted him that she didn't even need mercy. She's trying to back out. She didn't feel like if she was pregnant with her, she knew she wanted to give himself.
Big bastard!
Settle down back there, kiddo. Right, it'll be over soon.
Mother!
Did you miss us?
Actually, yeah, when you're on an airplane that long, we can even miss you guys.
We've learned that Alma Knopfsinger gave up custody of her children, Debbie and Dave Jr., because of problems with her second husband, Steve. That's a big sacrifice for her, and that tells us things must have been really bad with Alma and Steve. Does anybody still feel like David Delgado and Maria Delgado need to be on the suspect list? All right, let's go down.
But David and Maria cleared the case on one suspect. Steve Wilkes. This is Lieutenant Gabriel.
David Jr. was 10 years old when his mother was murdered. He met with Alma and Steve before she gave up custody.
Oh, wise up! Need another one. Fuck off! This is just. Oh, motherfucker! Pig motherfucker!
Can you talk a little bit about what, if anything, you remember about your mom?
How'd you lose them? They're not going anywhere. Absolutely ridiculous.
Okay. Not a lot of fond memories there then with Steve.
No, I can't think of it.
What about you and Ryan?
We didn't go together from when we were in high school. I just knew that he was my brother.
Oh my god, this is just impossible. Absolutely impossible. Just ridiculous. Ridiculous game.
How can that happen when someone is diabolically manipulative and trying to keep from you for some crazy reason?
We were Ryan today. Okay.
Because he's still close to Steve, but we've managed to track down another witness that could be reported. The next that Steve was with 17 years after Ellen's death. Y'all both are going to bring copies of the ring out here? Witness lived with Steve.
Motherfucker.
Anything Steve might have told her about Alma could tell us what kind of man we're dealing with.
Responding unit. Suspect sighted downtown.
You just cannot get away from them. There's too many of them. Just impossible.
I should have scared you.
You do this all day. Just cannot get away from it.
He said, "When are you coming home?" I said, "I'm not coming home."
She might not have suffered the same physical abuse that Elma did, but this woman was smart and brave and strong enough to leave as soon as she did. That's the same thing I told you about.
Get to fuck!
There's not much from them at all in the case file, so they could have some new information.
Jim, you may have some information for us on this.
This is just so unfair. Fucking hate this game. Shit game.
Did you have any first-hand knowledge of that?
I remember
Fucking assholes.
that there was a nightstick or a stick he had in the car beside the driver's seat.
Steve had a club in his car?
Yeah, he used it for, like, when he was hunting or whatever, to hit the animals if they wasn't dead, this kind of stuff.
A wooden club could have caused most of Alma's injuries, especially the type of damage seen in Alma's skull. It's worth trying to find out more about it.
Did Elaine ever say she'd seen her?
I think so, yeah.
Would she stick up for Steve? Would she tell us her true feelings?
You ask her a question.
Motherfuckers, let me go already.
Back to your place. Yeah. Roll around that chump shack in the back. As for you, have a little dignity, Christ. Watch out for cops. Don't want to get pulled over with this asshole in the back seat.
So that's about 3 feet. 2.5 feet.
Whew, shit.
Okay.
For a couple of years there, I really thought I might be done with all the Jimmy Cagney bullshit.
This smokestick
But
could
here I
possibly
am.
match Alma's injuries.
I kind of figured you for more the Edward G. Robinson type.
We can prove that Steve had it.
Maybe you were kidding. You know, God's got a sense of humor too. It's sick as shit, but that motherfucker's got one.
Why do you get rid of it?
Well, he makes it that random thing.
Because Steve got rid of the smokestick, it's impossible that we'll find out 32 years after. All of a sudden, the stick was missing after the murder, and he comes up twice to him.
This motor should be without it, it's a bust. We got
Without a murder, We still need insight that can connect Steve Nelson to the murder of his ex-wife Alma. So we're on our way to question Steve's sister Cheryl and her husband. She is his sister, so you have that bond from being a sibling, and they don't want to tell. You know, they don't want to be the one that says, I put my brother in prison.
Come on, Mikey. Why do you want me gone all of a sudden?
At first it appears they don't want to talk to me. And then Tom tells us the whole family's scared.
Never should have been down here in the first
He's violent and he's hot. So Tom tells me that Steve Knopfsinger had a wife before Alma, and they had a son that was still living. And then after that,
Keep going, you got 9 more!
when it came to Steve's first son Ryan, he didn't care about
So we're gonna
Alma,
play up to
he didn't
Leo
care
in the
about divorce,
commission.
he didn't care about anything but Ryan.
Answer the question. Uncle Sally's.
When you work on cases like this, you always want to try and figure out why someone commits such a horribly brutal murder. So the question is, because Steve lost his first child, does the possibility of losing Ryan become the trigger for him brutally murdering Alma? And going through all the divorce paperwork, I found this. They filed for the divorce, then they try to reconcile. In the middle of the counseling time period, this says, on or about the 8th day of March, while at their home, the plaintiff, that's Stephen, he's the one that filed for the divorce, did physically abuse her by grabbing her by the arm and throwing her to the ground and threatening to break her arm.
So there's 2.
At least 2. Yeah, and this is when they're supposed to get back together, but he's at his best to convince her to stay with them, and that's not happening. 5 months later, she's dead. This is what he says in his affidavit filing for divorce. My wife departed the marriage to domicile Thursday, January 29, 1981. I fear that if my wife is granted custody of the child, that she will keep the child from me and I will never see the child again. It's looking to me like Steve was going to go along with divorcing Alma, but when he wasn't going to get custody of Ryan, he could not handle it. When Steve went to court to get custody and put it in his name, he said there, for the reason that the child's natural mother died on December 16, 1981.
At what point did you become aware that Sal Marcano wanted to build a casino north of the city?
Pretty early on. Michael Greco told Lincoln about it. What do y'all think?
And Lincoln Clay's plan was to specifically target various entities related to Marcano's casino plan.
Between the bribes he was paying out to get gambling legalized and the money he needed to pay off the commission, Sal was stretched pretty thin.
Tuesday the 15th.
So Lincoln used that to his advantage. Forced
Because
Sal into
Tuesday
making some
is the
extremely
last
hard
time Alma was
decisions.
seen alive by
Decisions that would limit his options.
So Mary Schaefer, who we're going to see, says that she was standing at her kitchen window, saw Alma drive in her driveway.
I'm telling you, we
didn't
make
see
twice
anyone
as
get out of
much
the
bread
car,
moving
doesn't
heroin
require
as we
his
would
window.
from a
Not only
stupid
was
fucking
Mary the last
casino.
person
Maybe
to
3
see Alma
times.
alive, she was also the first person to
You're
discover
joking,
Alma's
right?
body on Thursday
All I
night.
ever heard from you is, don't give me your goddamn excuses, you understand? You baby was fucking old!
You think this is a game, son? And it's my fault for playing along with you. I'm not setting you straight. But it's not a game.
What do you remember about
This shit wears
Steve
on
or anyone
you.
else?
Grind you down.
Steve,
I ain't had a decent night's sleep in 43
before
years.
I had even met Alma, she
Then after
closed my
Lucha.
mouth one night, poured down rain.
Hey, we got
and
the
she said
cocksuckers who
birds
did that.
gotten
Every last one of them.
Yeah, your uncle's still dead, ain't
She said no.
So she was
he? You think sitting in that chair makes you special, huh?
run out.
Somehow puts you above all the
Right.
bullshit.
Right.
But it's the opposite. All it does is paint a
How
giant
was
goddamn
Alma's
bullseye on your
wife
forehead.
when Steve had the baby on
There's a
his
price to
off
be
days?
paid for all this, you understand? And I'm tired of paying it.
When is the last time you talked to Alma?
Mainly, I'm
Just before she was
worried I'm gonna get a phone call telling me you're dead in a gutter somewhere.
They got into a big argument about it and stuff.
What do you expect me to do?
Steve
Work the front door?
get Ryan.
Glad hand folks, as they come on in, maybe give them a quick slap on the ass.
You run it with me.
We may have just found the trigger
Hey,
to
after a
push the
few
sick
years,
man
after I
over
know
the
everything's
edge.
settled down,
She is
you'll
going to
take
be
over.
the DA's number
Find
one
yourself a
priority.
nice woman. Give me some fucking
I've
grandkids.
worked a lot of cases
Not
where
born as
divorce is the motivating factor.
It's the only way,
I had
son.
a case where a woman left her husband and he pulled up to her house, got out of the
World
car
has
with
changed.
a bat and beat her upside the head with that baseball bat
Used to be people
over
knew that
and over
place.
and over again. You see that
Now
kind of
everybody's
anger and
screaming about
rage, and
equality.
it tells you who the killer is.
Now they all
just
deserve
like in
a
this
slice
case.
of the pie.
We need to always ask
Niggas,
ourselves who wanted
Bitch,
Alma dead.
gooks, you name it.
I think it's time to prepare for a face-to-face
Our way of doing
confrontation.
things won't work in a world like
We have
that.
the Defiance County Sheriff's Office ready to go. As far as we can tell, he was potentially home yesterday afternoon. He has a white Ford F-150 registered in his name, which was there yesterday.
You come to me with something like this, Luke, you better be goddamn sure.
Security detail set several blocks away.
Yeah.
It's a big day. I'm hoping he'll talk to us freely.
I think Clay's still alive.
Reopen Alma's case, and we'd like to talk to him. Don't say if you have time. Just kind of gets people in out.
Rob and Alan, Butler says the truck's in the driveway, but doesn't see anything.
From what I've learned about Steve, it's possible he has quite a gun collection, so we've got to be careful.
There they are.
There's no doubt about where he's standing, right? Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Idiot.
Reports on Hidden Road and River Road. If anyone's got time to check it out, it's all yours.
Because of those signs on the door, and because of people telling us how opinionated he is and how he is, I thought he was wrong. He just went into it.
Released today by the President's National Advisory Commission on Civil Disobedience finds that the majority of American Negroes consider the urban riots of the last few years a form of social protest. The report goes on to say that future riots can only be prevented by addressing the root causes of poverty in the Negro slums. The study repudiates the so-called riffraff theory of riots, which holds that only a small fraction of the Negro population is responsible for the violence.
Very good possibility. I guess you're the sheriff's office.
He says he's home and he has to stay there.
He's always been home. Steve Knoxinger calls back and says, you know, on second thought, I'm not coming down there. We all went to my house tomorrow. Because he's a freaky man, but he's never into his school. So, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know, we gotta help him go back to his house. Steve is running us around town. He wants this interview to happen on his time and his place. That's right.
Showtime.
Steve agrees to talk to Alan and Rob in his home. Meanwhile, we're all outside listening to every word. And right off the bat, Steve's acting like he barely even remembers Alma. Last time he says we're alive, he doesn't remember. If he was in, say he would. Don't you remember the last time you saw your brother? The last time I saw
You think
my
I
brother?
forgot what you said?
And we didn't do anything
You can
wrong.
blame my
They
Connor
ask
on
him
you
every
it was your
question we
man
have
who
about
ambushed
Alma,
us.
Man will follow an
about
orders.
his use.
We
His
got
answer
rules.
to nearly every
Not my
question
fucking
is,
problem that you people don't understand.
Yeah, well, I'm about to make it your fucking problem.
Sure is that's that. If it ain't the city's favorite pot-licking donkey, Thomas Clark. The fuck did you just say to me? Put the gun down, Bert. It's gonna take all four of us to bring down Marcano, so I don't want any more of this stupid bullshit.
Bring down Marcana. These two used to work for Marcana. And this one? Do you know how many of my men this canard killed because Marcana told him to? Fuck him, and fuck you if you think I'm ever gonna trust
Hey,
these
get the
two.
fuck out there. There's no sweat off my ass. You don't trust him? Good. Because I don't trust any of them. That doesn't change the fact that I destroyed Barbieri's operations, killed Doucette and those other redneck motherfuckers, and saved Joe ass from Greco's men. So here's what you need to decide right fucking here now. Either fall in line or get the fuck out. Just know. Second you step out that door, your name's getting added to my list, right beneath Marcano's. Now, we're all done acting like goddamn children. Let's go over the plan. bring down an organization the size of Marcano's, we need to eliminate the people at the base and work our way up. It's the same thing I did in Knox.
I know the military filled your noggin with all manner of tactics and schemes. But let's not overthink this shit. Say we go out to his house and shoot him. Shouldn't take more than an hour or so. Not pending on traffic.
And what you think gonna happen after? Everybody else just gonna lay down and die, you stupid ass motherfucker.
Cassandra's right. Just killing Marcano doesn't get us anywhere. One of his brothers will take over and we're right back where we started. So, first, we go after his lieutenants. Then, once they're killed, we seize their territory and move on to the capos. Once the lieutenants and the capos are killed, Marcano will be isolated and alone. And that's when we go after him.
Hold on, what happens to those territories we get from Marcano's guys?
Once it's in our hands, I'll decide who gets to run the day-to-day. I give you a district, you get the rackets and everything else. But I'm also counting on you to hold it. Keep that bastard from reclaiming it. One last thing. Y'all know that building that's going up across the lake? It's building a casino. Marcano's constructing this so he can go legit. All his money's tied up into that thing, so once he figures out what we're up to, it'll limit his options. More importantly, it's an emotional attachment. Emotions make people irrational, greedy. So that's where we hit him. Right in the goddamn heart.
Hey, nice speech. Think they bought it?
Don't care. They're all too greedy or pissed off at Marcano to back out now.
At least until one of them decides to try the crown on for size.
Well, if it comes to that, I'll handle it. The photos were a nice start and all, but I'm gonna need some actionable intel on those lieutenants. Place of business, where I can find them, you name it.
The dossiers are nearly complete. I'll be ready to move when you are. I was also able to recruit some concerned citizens who are more than happy to share what they know about Sal's coalition of WAP assholes. Information on how to contact them will be included with the other intel.
Appreciate it.
Sure you don't need a ride?
Oh, I do my own driving.
And the systematic killing of Marcano's capos and lieutenants, that was part of the plan.
Well, they were playing fucking patty cake, Christ.
Look, you want to bring somebody down, you destroy the foundation they're standing on. It's the same basic op we ran over Nam.
Pre-trial. Defense attorneys for the elderly South County resident claim he was simply reacting to the recent wave of cold-on-white violence that has plagued New Bordeaux. The defense also painted a damaging portrait of one of the victims, Trey McCall. He apparently spent time as a teenager in juvenile hall for undisclosed crimes. Dupree's defense is being paid for following an outpouring of public support for the Korean War veteran.
Show heart the hell and I yes around.